Hey everybody, how's it going? Randy here, Nerds Templar. It is the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate AI League, and it is the final subset of set 21, the final set. It is yellow. After this, the regular season is over. We have reached the end. Next week, we will have 6 more days of videos, and they will be 4 days of divisional playoffs, 1 for each division. And then finally 2 more days full of all the league playoff rounds. After 20 in the yellow, Incineroar is now number 1. He's been there for a couple sets now, 15-4. The Mii Swordfighter is 14-5. Ridley and Min, 13-6. Ridley has the win over Min. Olimar is 12-7. Sephiroth and Isabelle and Ike and Robin are all 11-8. And that spans from number 6 to number 9, which means one of those 11 and 8s cannot make it into the top 8, which means one of those are going to be moving in the moving middle, that middle pack of 7. Richter 9 and 10 along with Ice Climbers and Pikachu. Richter beat both of them. Ice Climbers beat Pikachu. They aren't secure yet in the playoffs. Just the 10 wins gets you there, which nobody is at currently, but it would do it. We got the 8 and 11 then, big tie, 4-way tie. Samus, Joker, Pokemon Trainer, and Game & Watch. Samus has the win over Pokemon Trainer and Game & Watch. Joker has beaten Samus. The Trainer beaten Game & Watch. Game & Watch beat Joker. That's where everybody ends up, but Joker and Pokemon Trainer still have yet to play each other. That's today, of course. And so they're both 1-1 in this 4-way tie. After that, the ones eliminated 8 and 12 Zero Suit Samus just barely eliminated, only because Joker and Pokemon Trainer have to fight. That means the last one in the playoffs is definitely going to be 9 and 11. There's in fact going to be one more 9 and 11 vying for that spot. There may be more, of course, than just the one there, but there has to be at least one. That means it will at least be 9 and 11 to get in, and it may not even be enough. So 8 and 12 Zero Suit, so close. Did so much better than last season though. So, commendable. Same with Sonic, did a little better at least than last season. 7 and 12, he was close as well. 6 and 13, Daisy, as well as Wii Fit Trainer. Daisy beat her. And finally, the 4 and 15, Duck Hunt. So, now set 21, the final set. Incineroar is up against Pikachu to start. Game & Watch versus Olimar. Climbers versus Min. Daisy against Ridley. Mii Swordfighter versus Wii Fit Trainer. Richter against Sonic. Samus versus Duck Hunt, and then we've got Pokemon Trainer taking on Joker. And finally, Isabelle 11 and 8 versus the 11 and 8 Robin, and Sephiroth 11 and 8 versus the 11 and 8 Ike. So that is going to be an incredible way for us to finish here. And I just feel like Sephiroth versus Ike is just such a great way to finish the regular season, right? And of course, Zero Suit Samus 8 and 12 already on the bye. That's why she has that extra match played already. Because she is the last bye. She's done. So let us begin. We begin with the 9 and 10 Pikachu. Of course, the number 1, 15 and 4 Incineroar as well, but he's actually in the top 3 for sure. The only one who can even tie him up is Mii Swordfighter, but he actually has the win over Mii Swordfighter, so he is in fact number 1 already, Incineroar. Go figure. He made his way up at the very end and just now he's there. So he's definitely on a bye. He's definitely going to have the easiest matchup coming into the second round of playoffs for the yellow here. But we'll see if that is enough to get him farther, get him into the league playoffs, where only 4 per division will go. Already a very quick knockout on Pikachu. Yeah, because there may be more than one 8 and 11 going up to 9 and 11. 9 and 11 may not get you in, and so Richter, Ice Climbers, and Pikachu, all 9 and 10 right now, all still tentative. Pikachu's got it the worst because Pikachu lost to both Richter and Ice Climbers. Have to see how he did, though, against those below him, Samus, Joker, Trainer, Game & Watch. 3 could go up. It's definitely going to be one more 8 and 12, put it that way. Definitely going to be an 8 and 12 in the moving middle for that last spot, because we do have, of course, Zero Suit Samus could get out of the move in middle at 8 and 12 if there's a huge tie there. There's a way she could get out. Same with Sonic at 7 and 12 with a win today. They're really the only ones who are in for sure are 6 and 13 Daisy, Wii Fit Trainer, and a 4 and 15 Duck Hunt. The ones that are staying in the staying 6 in the bottom for sure. Again, if you're unaware, the middle 7, the top 8 stay, the bottom 6 stay, and the 7 in the middle of those move on to a new division between season here. We'll be able to see after today. It's based on regular season results, so after today, just like the other divisions, we will be able to see who in the yellow is going to be moving on to the red division. And it's looking like Pika here is going to be dropping out. OG yellow division fighter. Doesn't look like he'll be staying. Actually, there's no way he could fall out of there because yeah, it's definitely going to be, the bottom is definitely going to all be 8 and 12. He can only go to 9 and 11, and 10 and 9. I'm sorry, yeah, 10 and 10 for Pikachu. The best he can do is not going to be enough for the top 8 either. So Pika is going to be red division for sure next season. Not positive which is easier, red or yellow. They do seem like the two easiest currently. But the more the middle moves on, the more seasons we do, the more that happens, the more even they'll all become, I believe. Still, though, we'll have like the top 8, 5 to 8 fighters that are always staying, that are probably going to determine which one's really like a stronger division. We'll see. We will see. Pikachu got at least one knockout. Not looking good for him, though. 128 on that last stop. Incineroar just destroying him. As you may have thought would happen. But, you know, I guess good try, Pikachu. You did what you could. Your base stat total just is not anywhere near Incineroar's, so what can you do? You know. Incineroar is going to be 16 and 4 now. That's a fantastic record. That is 15 and 5 was second best last season. And so he's beaten the second best from last season. He's about, I don't know, tied for like third or maybe even fourth best, honestly. There's the 18 and we have 18 and 2 Bowser. We have, actually, you know what? We have the 18 and 2 Bowser, and then we have a bunch of 16 and 4s: Donkey Kong, Kazuya, King Dedede, and Ganondorf. And now Incineroar. So that's like, yeah, that's tied for the second best ever. Well, actually, if we're going by ever, it would be tied for third best because Bowser has both of the best record and the second best record ever, which would be his record last season, 17 and 3, and his record this season, 18 and 2. So Bowser just wins all the time. But that doesn't matter for these guys yet, at least. Pika, we will see how Pikachu does 9 and 11. I could be falling out of playoffs. Right on the brink, just like last season. But he was 10 and 10, so dropping one match from last season in the yellow here. All right, of course, they're almost all important in some way. This is a huge one. Game & Watch is one of the 8 and 11s. Olimar, 12 and 7. May still have a chance at that top 3. Ridley and Min losing, him winning. A 3-way tie. One of them would make it. I don't think he has that the tiebreaker between them, but hey, I am not positive on that. You never know. It does actually look like he has maybe a win over Olimar, or I'm sorry, Ridley, or they're all 1-1 against each other. Min, Olimar, Ridley. That's actually very possible. I think that was because they were all tied last set. That may have been what happened. So that could be interesting. It could be very interesting for the last spot there. But of course, that means he has to win. Ridley and Min have to lose. It's asking for a little bit. Min's against Climbers next. Ridley's against Daisy after that. Game & Watch is going to get the first knockout here. Of course, Olimar's got an easy one. They have all got easy ones. It's like the mid-tier easiness. Already got another knockout on Olimar. This is crazy. What is happening? Olimar just completely flopping. but he's not going to fall out of the top 8. He's good there. I mean, he could, but I highly doubt it. If all the 11 and 8s win, never mind, that's impossible. Never mind, because they're all playing each other. So 2 have to win, 2 have to lose, which makes Olimar, yeah, puts him in the top 8 for sure. So I guess that's why he's not doing much. He's just taking it easy here. Maybe he and Mr. Game & Watch are buddies. They do look kind of similar. Have similar play styles, right? Kind of. Just maybe. He wants to feed him a win here at the very end, get him into the playoffs. There it is, a flawless victory for Mr. Game & Watch on Olimar. Okay. Was not expecting that. But hey, 222 match. That's crazy. Game & Watch is 9-11 now. He does not. He's got the worst chance of all of them. But hey, he's got the win. So there's that. At least he's got the win. And the more 9 and 10s lose, the more that there are at that 9 and 11 spot, probably the better for him, because right now, of course, well, the ones that are 9 and 10, that might be better for him. The 8 and 11s, he lost all of them except Joker. So he does want Joker to beat Pokemon Trainer. That'd be huge. He wants Samus to lose. And I guess that's about that. That would actually be about perfect for him. He doesn't have to worry about the 9 and 11s at that point. In fact, he would probably have to worry more about them at that point, because if it was just him and Joker, then he would have that outright, of course. Yeah, and Olimar, he's gonna not go up. Definitely no top 3 for him. Might be passed up by some others. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, he's number 5. We'll see if he ends up there or not. Got the Ice Climbers next, 9 and 10. Min 13 and 6. Ice Climbers doing really well from the blue last season. We're doing really well this season here in the yellow, but yeah, only for about the first third maybe of sets, and then just started falling quickly downward. Min, on the other hand, was kind of the opposite. She started off slow in the first third, you could say, and then just came on really strong. I mean, she, again, obviously a great chance at the top 3 now. All she really has to do is win, and with a Ridley loss, so if everything stays how it is, she'd be 4th, of course. But she needs Ridley to lose and a win for herself, and she's in just like that. No questions asked. And if they both win and Swordfighter loses, they would be in a 3-way tie at 14 and 6. And it's possible she could get in around Ridley somehow there in a 3-way tie. Of course, then that would open up the top 2, so the number 2 and 3 spot both. And as we said already, Incineroar not going anywhere. He's just the number 1. He's just number 1. Just like where Ganondorf definitively in the blue, just like Bowser definitively in the green, even though we had so many other high records. Kazuya DDD both 16 and 4. The best records in all the other divisions, but not in the green. Min, 2 knockouts already on Ice Climbers. This is how you would expect the well, the way that the Game & Watch and Olimar match went is how this is going, but you expected Olimar to be Min and not Game & Watch, if that makes any sense to you. Yeah, not as definitive in the red, by the way, if you're wondering. Violet and Donkey Kong, 16-4 each. Violet obviously beat DK, so that is definitive in some sense, but they were tied, so that's the only division that had that has a tie, you know, a tie in record at least at the top. Which also was, I don't know if it was the, wait a second, I think it was the case last season. It was the case last, no wait, Pokemon Trainer and Ike, they were both 14 and 6, that's right, in the yellow here. So there were 2 divisions that had a tie at the top last season, but just the red, and one of them was the red. And now it's just the red, and yeah, that's another flawless victory, but this time it makes more sense. It is going to be Min destroying the Ice Climbers. instead of a massive upset. Okay, Min Min trying to earn her spot in that top 3, get that bye in the first round of playoffs. It'd be nice. Try to knock Ice Climbers out of playoffs while she's at it before they even start. Ice Climbers be crying like, why you do this? And they're now 9-11 with Pikachu, with Game & Watch. All the ones either 9-10 or 8-11 currently have gone to 9-11. All the ones we fought so far. So that's pretty crazy. We could have like a one. We could have I guess it would only be a 5-way tie because 6-way. We could have a 6-way tie, right? At 9-11. That'd be crazy. This one does not apply to that, but it is Ridley. See if he can win like Min Min did. Now, if he wins, barring some weird tiebreaker thing in a 3-way tie, if Swordfighter would lose and tie up with he and Min Min, he should be good with a win here. He should just be in. But I have no idea what would happen if they do tie up. I'll tell you right now, Min Min beat the Mii Swordfighter, so there's that. So there's that. That was actually just last set. That's what dropped him into range dropped him out of, well, he was tied for first. He was second, tied for first with Incineroar. Incineroar had the head over him as well. But and then dropped him into range to take over that spot. So just imagining that Swordfighter already beat Ridley, and it's 1-1, 1-1 for all 3 of those. Well then, we have to go into who beat Incineroar. And I'll tell you also right now, Ridley did beat Incineroar. Swordfighter did not. And Min Min probably didn't beat Incineroar, so it might be... Oh, it might actually be Ridley, Incineroar, Ridley, Min Min, if Mii Swordfighter loses. That's the main thing here. Daisy giving Ridley a run for his money, one of our closest matchups so far here. 120 on Daisy's second, 51 on Ridley's second. Supersized Mushroom, though, gonna help him gain a pretty big advantage here. Maybe he doesn't have to worry a whole lot. Daisy not faring very well this season, but she did have a few wins a little later on here, mid to late season, to get herself to 6-13. 7-13, I mean, that's not the worst. It's really not the worst, especially if you finish off by beating Ridley. Ridley started off the season with a loss to Duck Hunt. It was actually Duck Hunt's only win for the first half of the season. And who knows, maybe he could possibly end up with a loss to Daisy, I guess in that case she would be number 3rd to last. Daisy, Duck Hunt's last for sure. Daisy, if she wins, is definitely not 2nd to last. Wii Fit Trainer would be. Coming up next. But still important because Swordfighter is who Wii Fit's got, so definitely big to find out what happens there. Yeah, a loss somehow. Swordfighter losing a Wii Fit Trainer next match, I believe. If this is weird. I'm pretty sure if Swordfighter beat Ridley, then if he loses next match, then he actually ends up. Maybe that means that he has no way, because if he didn't beat Ridley, then he'd be even worse straight. So the only reason he has any chance with a loss at all is because he beat Ridley, but he still doesn't have a chance because Ridley beat Incineroar, and I think he's the only one. So there's Ridley cleaning that victory up, no problem. 327 match, about average, a little under maybe. Not bad. Daisy's gonna end 6-14. That's not great. I feel like 7-13 is almost like the cut for like good and bad. You hit 7-13, you're like, okay, you're like a match or two away from maybe hitting playoffs. If you're Lower than that, you probably didn't really have any chance in the first place. Anywhere above that, you did well enough. And I would say if you hit anywhere, almost anywhere above 500 seems to be pretty good so far. And if you've gotten 13 wins plus, then I would say that's like really good, great territory there. So Ridley certainly got that with 14-6 this season now. Very, very good record. And it does look like he is going to solidify his spot either way, whether Swordfighter wins or loses. Ridley is going to be in the playoffs, or in the top 3, that is. They're all obviously in the playoffs. They're doing amazing. So. And in the top 8, no doubt about that. Of course, Daisy is also definitely staying in the bottom 6. Not the top 8, but in the bottom 6. She'll definitely be wearing the yellow again next season. Wearing the yellow uniform. And we got another one. Wii Fit Trainer is definitely going to be here next season as well. Me Swordfighter definitely going to be here next season. So a match we will see again. Let's see if Wii Fit Trainer can give the swordsman a run for his money. And now we know. Swordfighter is win and in. If he loses, he's out of the top 3. Because what it again would come down to is Ridley. Swordfighter probably be Ridley. That's the one thing we didn't know for sure, right? And the other thing we don't know is if Swordfighter beat Incineroar. So how did Swordfighter do against Ridley and Incineroar? Those are the biggest questions. Oh, Ridley beats Swordfighter. Oh. Yep. So Swordfighter just there's no other. He didn't beat either Ridley or Min, so he's just out for sure. If he loses here, there's no way in at all. But if he wins, he's fine. That's what it comes down to for him. Wins, he's just fine because he's a match above. In that case, at least. Still a match above right now, of course. Well, not anymore again since they both won and he's currently fighting. But currently fighting and currently tied after Wii Fit Trainer just got that tying knockout. But he did some good damage on return here. 56 on Wii Fit Trainer, who then puts 28% on him. Wait a second. Poison Mushroom. Oh, wow. Wii Fit Trainer dodges it and Swordsman grabs it. Yeah, I can't believe Wii Fit Trainer, a big chance to pull off a massive upset and, I mean, crushing upset to drop him out of that top 3 that he has been in, mind you, the entire time. And not just been in, but he was, okay, not counting, oh wow, yeah. He was, after the Ice Climbers had their 5-0 run and then they were crushed, their dreams were crushed the rest of the season. Swordfighter had been number 1 since then, 5-1, 6-1, 7, 8, 9, 10-1, and then he was 10-2, 11-2, 11-3, 12-3, 13-3, 14-3, and then 14-4. And that's when, after that, he went 14-5, and Incineroar passed him up. No, wait, he went... he was on his bye, 14-4, I guess. Then he was tied with Incineroar, who beat him already, and then he went 14-5, and that's where he is now. 97-113. Wii Fit Trainer just gives him another shot there. But the Poison Mushroom is going to help Swordsman out here. Getting the knockout. 102 on his second, and Wii Fit Trainer tied back up. Swordsman got a Super Mushroom. He's going to stay on the stage a little longer. Can he make a good comeback here? If he wins, it means Min is going to be number 4. She's going to miss that top 3. Ooh, the Spike Serve poison on the Poison Mushroom. Swordfighter, wow. Some good aim there for one. 44% on Wii Fit Trainer right now. Super Mushroom on Wii Fit Trainer. 29 on Swordfighter. Nice block. A couple nice blocks from the Swordfighter there. Keeping him in a decent lead. 73 on the Trainer. 29-78. never know, though. Sword Fighter are the worst recovery, I believe, of the two. Trying to get back up there, but off the stage, let's Wii Fit Trainer get the Super Mushroom here. Only 29% on Sword Fighter should be okay. 121 on the Wii Fit Trainer, still getting attacked. Now Poison Mushroom, though, on Sword Fighter. Still, though, not getting attacked at all, so kind of just not going to lose, I guess. I mean, you can't lose if you don't get hit, right? Oh, wow, he jumps off and allows Wii Fit Trainer to grab that Super Mushroom as well. But she's at 149, he's still only at 30. Can Wii Fit do anything at all? There's some damage. 45, a little bit. Nope, but a Poison Mushroom, and that will be it. By far our longest match today. What a short one so far, but Wii Fit Trainer goes down. Me Sword Fighter. Whew! Just barely hanging on to that number 2 spot now. Just barely. Too bad for Min Min. Still pretty sure that she might deserve because of how everyone else has ended up. It was between like her, Bowser Jr. There may have been one other one I think that was in there, perhaps. Inkling was sort of a question, I believe, at one point. And we may have to look in for sure. But Mega Man didn't quite end up. Oh, no, he is 11-9. Bowser Jr. That's where he ended up. Mega Man had kind of a better season, so yeah, I think Kirby would be really the only one that has any other chance of comeback. Best comeback of the season between all fighters. Min Min, I feel like probably gets that one over Kirby that only ended up 9-11. If he got his last win and went 10-10, that would have been a lot. If Bowser Jr. got his last win and went 12-8, yeah, he probably would have gotten it outright. But yeah, I think because they both lost, I feel like Min Min just won, went to 14-6, just what an incredible record. I feel like she does deserve comeback fighter, even though she didn't start off that far behind. She started off 0-3 though, before going 1-3, 2-3, and then 3-3 and 3-4, 4-3 actually, and then 4-4. So actually, once she went 3-3, 4-3, 4-4, then 5-4, 6-4. I think she was above 500 from that point on. But still the best, I feel. The way that everyone else ended up. Again, it was like maybe a match difference for Bowser Jr. between Bowser Jr. and her who would get it. But I feel like it belongs to Min Min because she just did so much better and kind of like something for like consolation since she didn't make that top 3 and she even got the win but still didn't make the top 3. Anyway, next match. All right, last of the bad ones, but is it bad? No, because it's 9-10 Richter now, our last 9-10. But he should be okay, and I think it's our worst match because Richter is pretty much just where he is. He is not going to be able to make the top 8, of course, so he's definitely in the move in middle, going to the red where Simon, I believe, is, because let's see here. Simon is number 8 in the red, so he's staying. Richter is going to be joining him. In fact, depending on what happens, no. Richter will definitely be not number 9. He looks like he might just be number 10 though. With a win outright, he'll just outright be number 10. But Sonic starting off nicely here. Richter fails to get back to the stage. Not a good up B on that guy. Because he's got all those strong weapons, you gotta nerf him a little bit somehow, right? Sonic is gonna take a small advantage, but 55 now 70% on him. Super Mushroom throwing axe to the head. That will do some damage. Sonic so close to having a chance. 8-12 if he wins here, which again could have been, I should say, something that got you in. Except for the fact that there's definitely going to be one more 9-11. Joker or Trainer. Those two basically because of that having the best chance of all of them. Except Joker probably not very happy to see that Game & Watch of all people won. Samus wins, that helps out Joker. Slightly. I don't know how much. It may or may not, now that I think about it. It all depends. I think maybe if more losses, an extra loss maybe from Richter could help him out. But yeah, Sonic, he was pretty bad last season, so seeing how well he did this season, it's nice. It's nice to see. Well, you know what? He was 6-14 because he did kind of the same thing. Ended up getting a few wins at the end. But he did do at least one win better than last season, maybe two. Another knockout on Richter because Richter Poison way off the stage there. No way he's coming back. 155 on Sonic's first stock. He is looking for a flawless victory, and this is not why this is the worst match. It's the worst because of Sonic, not because of Richter. There he gets one, Richter, for himself. Super Mushroom. Richter. Some damage. And really can't go anywhere, but could help somebody else out if he ties up in that 9-11. If he can give somebody else an extra win or something. But he's at least got two against the Ice Climbers and Pikachu if he does lose. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Sonic could certainly do it here. Poison Mushroom again on Richter. He's back to normal. 60 on Sonic's second. Make it 73. 23. Poison Mushroom on Sonic. 23 on Richter's last stock. Ooh, man, that's gonna hurt. Just barely launched him enough, but it did. Sonic down again. And now, tied up basically even. Only 23-33 on Richter. Both avoid the Poison Mushroom nicely. And then Sonic avoids the Super Mushroom. Okay. Not the one you wanted to avoid there. And now we see the flaw of Sonic, basically, is that he can't really do the damage. Richter certainly can. And what he needs to do is what he did last time, somehow get Richter off the side. Or, okay. Richter just did not use up B there at all. And he just lost. Wow. Alright. Again, doesn't matter much for him, I don't think, other than seeding and stuff. Pretty sure he's going to make the playoffs with the wins he already has. Doesn't mean anything for Sonic, although it could actually mean Sonic moving into the moving middle. Possibly. Maybe. It's going to be another matchup thing. We'll see. Maybe he helped out some of the 8 and 11s. It's about all that may have just happened, but that's still pretty crazy. Sonic nicely 8 and 12 though. Again, just like Zero Suit Samus, did pretty good for themselves. All right, now while this one may seem like the worst match because Duck Hunt is involved and he is the worst 4 and 15, he's got some wins now. He picked up a couple more here at the end of the season, so he's not like completely useless. And remember his first win, which made him look really good at first. I thought, oh wow, this guy's going to be not bad at all. Was beating Ridley in the first match before we knew anything about either of them, really. Now we know a lot, don't we? We know so much more. And we're going to learn so much more next season. And I think especially, though, the season after that, when we go even more simplified, more benign than this, even. And we're not going to have something even as crazy as the mushrooms. We're going to have something, I think. Maybe it'll just be a stage with some, like, slight somethings that happen. But next season is going to be crazy. And that's going to be after summer, our off season through the summer. We'll come back in the fall, and into the early winter we'll have our crazy season 2, and then we'll go to a more benign season 3. Again, more standard even than this season. Maybe a slightly crazier stage, but maybe no items. Or maybe just like, I don't even know. I'm not positive yet. I have some different ideas. Haven't decided on which one exactly yet we're going to do. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments, for sure. Samus up a nice lead now, especially after some big damage with the big mushrooms. 56 on Duck Hunt's second all of a sudden. 63 only on Samus's first. So been amazing here for the 8 and 11 Samus to go up. And again, wait, this is ridiculous. So far, every single fighter that's either 9 and 10 or 8 and 11 has gone to 9 and 11. Still, what in the world? There's only one time that can happen, and it's the match that's coming up after this. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's just insane. Can Samus finish it though? That's the question. Get the flawless streak of that, and then we will end up like I said earlier, 6 people at 9 and 11, and 3 of them will get in. I'm sorry, 4 of them would get in. 4 of them would get in. It's also crazy. It means that if Samus knocked out once here, hold on, 0 to 133% on their 2-stock battle now. And Samus, okay, Super Mushroom will help with that. But yeah, that will mean that whoever loses between Trainer and Joker is just outright done, because they're going to be the only 8 and 12. I'm sorry, not just outright done. They're going to be out of the move in middle and into the bottom 6. That's what will happen for sure. They'll definitely be done. They won't have any chance for sure at 8 and 12. But we already knew that. But they will definitely be the one in the bottom 6, along with the other 8 and 12s, Zero Suit, Samus, and Sonic. It's going to be 3 of them down there. Maybe 4. The last chance for Zero Suit, Samus, and Sonic to maybe make the top 8 is right here. It's actually slipping out of their grasp quickly, as Duck Hunt's last stock is at 98%, and Samus only at 35 on her second, basically going like it has all match. Samus with a massive lead and just sticking to it. Not going crazy, nothing insane. Just doing what she needs to do, and you know what? Hats off to her. It's going to be really good for her, already beating Pokemon Trainer and Game & Watch. She's hoping for the Pokemon Trainer win, obviously, there in the next match. If that happens, though, it's looking really good for her for the playoffs. In fact, she may just be in without having to worry about those other matchups. However, you never know. If she lost all 3 against Richter, Climbers, and Pikachu, if she lost all those, that could be too many losses. It could, in fact, move her below even the ones she beat, Pokemon Trainer and Game & Watch. That's why it's so crazy in Game... Duck Hunt, no, he's back. He made it. 169. He's doing everything he can just to be a nuisance to Samus right now. 117 on her second. 169 on Duck Hunt's last. Oh, the Cowboy comes out. Doesn't do it quite yet. No, neither does that. Pretty nice hit, but it's not going to do it either for Duck Hunt. Super Mushroom. 173. Samus trying to get the knockout while he's supersized. Almost does so. It's just a little too heavy. 152 to 180. Samus extra stock. Super Mushroom. Poison Mushroom on Duck Hunt. Never mind. Samus is normal size. Duck Hunt is poison though. And that'll do it. Right as the screen goes dim, it didn't want you to be dazzled by that massive explosion from that energy blast that Samus wins with at the end. Kabam. All right. That's all. They're all 9 and 11. What in the world? And Duck Hunt, yeah, 4 and 16. It's the 3rd worst record ever. We had the 2 and 18 last season. We had another one this season, 2 and 18 in Diddy Kong. Oof. We actually had some more 3 and 17s this season as well. Rosalina Luma and Ken, and also Sheik is down there. None of them were down there before last season, though. Those of those who were here last season, that is. 4 and 16s, though, that's the tied for the worst, the 3rd worst now. No one's ever gone completely defeated or only 1 win yet. Had 2-1 Diddy this season and Snake last season, crazily enough, 2 and 18s to finish. All those 3 and 17s, also Meta Knight and Toon Link were last season, 3 and 17s. 4 and 16s this season. We had no 4 and 16s last season. I think they were all better. 5 and 15 or better. 4 and 16s, we got Greninja and Peach in the red. We got none in the green. We got Pichu in the blue. And now here we have Duck Hunt. No one can go that low in the yellow. Everyone was doing pretty well in the yellow. Just like last season, actually. Everyone kind of had a chance almost up to the very end. It was only last set that everyone was basically eliminated, other than Duck Hunt, who was already out. Everyone else made it up to last set until they were eliminated. Zero Suit, Sonic, Daisy, and Wii Fit all being knocked out last set. Anyway, that's that. In this is going to determine whether the number 1 in the yellow from last season gets to move on or stays here in the bottom 6 Pokemon Trainer. If they lose, they get to stay. If they lose, they get to stay in their yellow division. Yet they stay because they're bad, not because they were good. So do you want to stay? Do you want to go? Do you want to find a new division for yourself now in the official league? Because we are talking Season 0 promo. It's a little unofficial, more like a exhibition league to set the stage, in a sense, which it certainly had, I think. And now this, our official Season 1, I feel like has gone epically. As I mean, you know, better than I could have hoped. The turnout here at the end, all these matchups, all these questions, all the drama of playoffs. Right now, Joker in some trouble. Super Mushroom might help him out a bit, though. 53 on Pokemon Trainer, 118 on Joker. Ooh, there goes Ivysaur, 74. Ivysaur. Joker, the Super Mushroom help, but the Poison Mushroom will help Charizard tie things up. Dead even, 8 and 11 bout. Joker gets the Poison Mushroom. It's looking like if it were Joker, things are a little more questionable for everybody. Pokemon Trainer kind of lets everybody rest a little easier. The win from Pokemon Trainer, not necessarily Game & Watch. But again, it's I do not know, because I didn't look into all of that. All of the 8 and 11 fighters matchups against all of the 9 and 10 fighters matchups, because, you know, I had no idea what to expect, who was going to go where, and I certainly did not think that all of them, 6 of them, were going to end up at 9 and 11. That is insane. The only one who can't, again, is one of these two, because they're fighting each other. They are tied still, 91 on Squirtle, 60 on Joker after those hits. Brings it almost back, but Joker comes back with a vengeance. 102 on Squirtle, he's back though, onto the stage. Poison, or Super Mushroom for Joker though. That could do it for the Squirt. Not quite, close. It's not looking good though. Not looking good for Pokemon Trainer. Looks like maybe they do just want to stay in their yellow division here. Maybe just do better next season. They'll be there with, it's looking like, not sure, for sure, but Ike, the number 2, who was number 1 most of the season until the very end when Pokemon Trainer took it last season. Looks like Ike will, but he has a very good chance at least of being in the top 8 and staying as well. So maybe we'll see both number 1 and 2 staying from last season in the yellow here for totally different reasons. But maybe they will. And then maybe Pokemon Trainer can reevaluate the situation coming into next season. Come out on top again. Maybe stay in, maybe just stay in the yellow, but in a better way. Charizard again going to come out after the Ivysaur knockout and almost get Joker, but not quite. He's going to remain with the stock advantage currently. Squirtle flips over top of the Super Mushroom, then runs and grabs it. And almost gets the knockout, but again, not quite. The Ghost for Joker. Poison Mushroom for Squirtle. 10%. Not much, but... Ooh, grabs the Super Mushroom right after coming back to normal size. Snags it away from Joker. Gets the knockout, and we are tied up. Only 10 on Pokemon Trainer right now. We are all tied up. Who would have thought 8 and 11s would be tied up at the end of the season, fighting for their very playoff lives. Squirrel comes out, Ivysaur back in. We've seen this twice already. Joker getting the knockout on Ivysaur. Is it going to happen again? 54 to 22. Joker goes back to normal size. Ivysaur out, Charizard in. Both back to the stage. Poison Mushroom for Joker. Dodges the Flame Charge there. 87 on Charizard. 36 on Joker. Almost got the Ghost. He got it. 48%. Pretty good time for it, but not a good time for the Poison Mushroom. 87-57 Joker Poison Mushroom. Charizard looking to finish things right here. He's got the bunny ears. Joker back to normal size. Super Mushroom Charizard. Charizard comes down strong, goes up strong, and down goes Charizard. Joker with the win. What? What just happened up there? What just happened up there? What did we miss? Man, that's like the bottom of a football fumble scrum. What, you don't even know what happened until it's all said and done and Joker comes down still on the stage. I am speechless, almost. Of course I'm not. Joker's going to go up to 9-11. That is going to be Pokemon Trainer down to 8-12 and staying for sure, along with those other 8-12, Zero Suit and Sonic. They're all going to be down in that bottom 6. But while they had a better showing this season, Sonic and Zero Suit, but much worse showing from Pokemon Trainer. 14-6 last season. Wow, now 8-12. Not great, but again, maybe just wanted to stay. And now we have 6, 9, and 11s. We have to figure out which 4 of those get to go into the playoffs. So that'll be a question. 2 matches left, though. Big question left. Okay, first up, 11-8, Isabelle and Robin. The next 2 11-8s follow, Sephiroth and Ike. Who will make it? You win, you're in. You lose, it all depends on who else lost. Isabelle, what are you doing? Okay, she made it back. Well, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it wasn't good. It's okay, though. Okay. Ooh, Robin trying to get a nice hit off the stage there, downward. Doesn't quite work. It's sort of a slow, slow but not slow progressing match to begin here. Okay, some big damage from the big Isabelle here. 74 on Robin, 43, 54 on Isabelle. Poison Mushroom for Robin. Not going to help her at all. That was a nice shot, though. 62, 68. Now, what else do we have? Sephiroth has beaten Isabelle and Robin. So, the last thing these guys want is Sephiroth. In fact, I believe what they want is Sephiroth to win. That's at least what Isabelle wants. If Isabelle would lose, then she's still okay. If Ike is the one that loses. But if Sephiroth loses and she loses, then Sephiroth in the head-to-head wins, and he gets the number 8 spot. She would be 9. Robin, however, doesn't really have any hope unless she wins here. She needs to win, or she's going to be out, because Sephiroth and Ike both already beat her. So no matter who wins between those two, if she loses, they'll have the head-to-head against her. And so they kind of want her to just lose, but at the same time, you never know, could help out some others if Isabelle. If Isabelle loses, I mean, Ike, that would be nice. Ike could actually gain a spot on Isabelle if Isabelle loses and Ike wins. That would be really the only change in record, is if that happens. If Isabelle wins and Ike wins, then she's okay with that too. They'd both go up, I guess, one spot at Sephiroth, then dropping. And that's where everything stands right now. Is we're at 37-75 here. Isabelle still with a very tiny lead, but they lead nonetheless. She's maintained, so it must be more than just a fluke. Just like the fact that she's 11-8 and has been basically in the top 8 this entire season. That's not a fluke. She's obviously not bad. Same with Robin. Ooh, the net, and we've seen the net and the fishing rod. They do work. They are not to be trifled with. And Isabelle's going to take a nice lead now, 38 only on her second stock. Whoa, Robin with a huge hit with the Super Mushroom, 2 of them. And she just tied it up completely at 1 stock, 0%. Are you kidding me? Robin, what an attack. She ain't done yet, folks. Of course, using female Robin because this is the yellow division, and Robin's only yellow skin is the female version. So And we made a decision, just like with all the other characters who have the choice between if you're going to use the girl or a guy. It's like all, it seems like it's all like Fire Emblem and stuff. Like, I don't know if they're like the main characters or whatever from those games, and you have like the choice of which you want. But we have the choice too. And so actually, if Robin would move on, then it would be the female one again. I believe I saw there was only one red skin as well, and that was also the girl. So the other ones must be green and blue in some way, right? To be the guy skins, that is. 60 to 81 right now, one stock each. And Robin's still down, but oh, again, the poison mushroom on Isabelle with the super on Robin. And one nice strike is all it takes. And that's what the mushrooms will do to you. Or for you, in her case. Wow. Wow. And again, that is Robin now. Now we have more questions. If Robin lost, it was pretty much there were no more questions really. We had our top 8. It was just a matter of what the order would be. Now, Robin is definitely in with 12 and 8. But the question becomes, with Isabelle losing, Ike is going to be number 9 if he loses. So it's basically all up to Ike now. Ike is a win and in situation. I believe Sephiroth, yes, as we mentioned, Sephiroth is good for the top 8 now either way, because he already beat Isabelle and Robin. So either way, Sephiroth, I believe, was just okay, right? So because either way, there was going to be whoever, if he lost, either way, whoever else was down there with him, he would have beaten. So it was really always up to Ike, and now it's even more up to Ike, as he's probably sweating bullets last match. And the very last match of the Season 1 regular season. Let's make it a good one, boys. Sephiroth versus Ike. 11 and 8. And again, it all rests on Ike. Ike, do you win? Do you make the top 8? Or, and this is your test right here. Sephiroth is your test because he's in the top 8. So do you deserve to be there? Wow, what a way to start here. 62% knockout. Natural size for both of them, knockout for Ike on Sephiroth. Sephiroth pulls a poison here. You know they're both strong enough to do that. You get into 60, you get into that orange, and you get in the wrong position. They are liable to knock you out. If you're not a heavy fighter, and neither of them are heavy, they're just, they're pretty normal size. They're certainly not light. But, ooh, man, Ike trying to go for it all again there. And Sephiroth denying that one. Ike coming back strong as always with that upbeat. Enough distance to get him back. 86 on his first stock. Sephiroth's taking 38 on his second. He's keeping it close here. With a super mushroom. Ike, nice shield. Nice shield. Can you do it again? Might need to. Oh no, he cannot. Over 100% knockout there. 52 on Sephiroth. He's still close enough in this, and certainly when Ike pulls a poison mushroom, that will help out. The explosion not gonna land there from Sephiroth. Ike back to normal. Super mushroom help, I believe, get back to normal size. And a poison mushroom off the side of the stage as Sephiroth just trying to get that up B, and it's scary, man. There's a couple of fighters, Richter and Simon also can do it with their chain. They can reach that top platform with their up A, and that is just, oh man, and now get off of the platform, Ike. Just get off of it, please. Oh man, you don't want to be there ever. You don't want to be on the platforms when your opponent's supersized, but when they can reach it even when they're normal sized, you pretty much can never go there. The lower ones are obviously a different question. Most fighters can reach those, other than oddly enough, Mario cannot, and it's funny. But yeah, this is as tied as it gets. 87-94, 2 stock each right now. 95-94. I take it back. Now we're as tied as it gets. The Sephiroth Super Mushroom, huge attack, huge turnaround here for him now in the driver's seat. Ike, you will be number 9 if you lose. Remember that, right? You will be out of your beloved yellow division. The super mushroom still not enough. Okay, that'll do it though. But it does take more time from his mushroom. 0 to 35 now with that poke. Oh, Sephiroth with the poison mushroom though. Give Ike another chance. One little hit, two little hits. They're not going to be enough. They both have bunny hoods on. You can hear them hopping around. You hear them hopping. Oh, the super mushroom wears off quick. 11 to 62, Ike. You are in some trouble, sir. 82 on Ike. Can he make any kind of comeback, or is it just decided? Isabelle will be number 8 if Ike loses here. He's running out of time. Sephiroth got him to 91, only 18 on Sephiroth. He needs a super mushroom for Ike. He needs 2 big hits or something, and he can take it. But Sephiroth is not going to let it happen. He's back on that top ledge. Dude, stop it. Don't want to be there. Yep, he pulls the poison mushroom, goes back to normal size. Sephiroth is like, okay, I got it. And he does. We've actually seen Sephiroth most of the season lower in rank than Ike. But it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter anymore. He's done it. 12 and 8. A very, very solid record. Ike goes to 11 and 9. What? He was 14 and 6 last season with Pokemon Trainer. I mean, he certainly didn't do as bad as Pokemon Trainer, so there's that. But we will not see them both stay. Pokemon Trainer did their part. They lost, so they could stay in the bottom 6. Ike did not do his part. He did not win, so he could stay in the top 8. He will, in fact, drop out then into number 9. That is that. That's crazy. Crazy division, set, season, all of it comes to an end. And now it's time, my friends. Next week, all the playoffs. Let's see where everyone ended up, though, in this division. Now, all the divisions as well. All right. Man, yeah. Crazy, but we did know most of what happened, but not all. I'll tell you that right now. So we had Incineroar defeat Pikachu, Game & Watch over Olimar, Min Min defeat Climbers, Ridley defeated Daisy, Swordfighter over Wii Fit Trainer, Sonic over Richter, Samus beat Duck Hunt, Joker beat Pokemon Trainer, Robin defeated Isabelle, and Sephiroth defeated Ike. What we got in the yellow for the regular season results: Incineroar 16 and 4, number 1 for sure. Swordfighter for sure, number 2, 15 and 5. 14 and 6 Ridley, who beat out the 14 and 6 Min Min in the head-to-head for that number 3 spot. Those 3 then are the buys. Min Min is 4. Olimar 12 and 8 is going to be our number 5. He's going to stay there. He beat both the other 12 and 8, Sephiroth and Robin. We already know Sephiroth beat Robin. That's going to keep him 6, and she's going to move up though to 7, taking down Isabelle, who's now number 8. 11 and 9, and they will all stay. We of course knew Isabelle beat Ike, moving him into number 9 and out of the staying 8 at 11 and 9 there. And then below him, a couple matches, is that massive pack of 9 and 11. 6 of them. Richter is first. He's going to stay there where he was because he already beat 2 of them. He actually beat 2 of the other 3 as well. So he ends up 4 and 1 in that tiebreaker. He beat the Ice Climbers, Pikachu, Samus, and Game & Watch. Game & Watch, the man, the myth, the legend, he was the one that was out of the moving middle. He was 6th to last in that bottom 6. And he is now number 11 the whole way up there because he went 3 and 2 in this tiebreaker. He beat the Ice Climbers and Pikachu, and most importantly, he beat Joker, who then he beats out because Joker also went 3 and 2 in this tiebreaker. And that also then puts Joker in the playoffs. So we got Richter, Game & Watch, and Joker there. Joker beat Richter, Climbers, and Samus. Then we got who was the one to make it in? Who was the one that made it in? The last one? Ice Climbers. It was the Ice Climbers. Still hanging on, barely hanging on. 2 and 3 in this. Beat Pikachu and Samus. Massively important. That means for Samus, just a couple wins too many. A couple losses too many from the 9 and 10s for her. If Richter didn't win, this could have been maybe completely different for her. But 9 and 11 Samus, so close. Did so much better than last season, just like a lot of these Blue Division fighters, but not quite able to make it. And neither is Pikachu. Unfortunately for the little guy, we were all pulling for him. He's not going to make it. 10 and 10 last season, 9 and 11, and that was good enough for the last playoff spot in the yellow. He's not going to get it this time, even with one record lower Oddly enough, Ice Climbers will get the last spot here, just like they got the last spot in the playoffs. It was actually league-wide playoffs last season, so Pikachu got the second to last spot in the league playoffs. Climbers had the very last with the only 9-11 record last season, and again they get the very last spot in the yellow division with another 9-11 record. Of course, many others had it this time. But Pikachu only 1-4 in this matchup, only beating Joker, a good one, but not nearly enough to give him any chance. If he had only, with one more win, you're just in. That's all it would have taken. Was not able to do it. Incineroar, not the easiest. Pokemon Trainer was set 20 for Pikachu and lost to Pokemon Trainer. That was really bad. Really bad one there. That's what Pikachu needed. That one, or in set 18 had Game & Watch himself. And could have just, it would have been the end for Game & Watch probably at that point. And Pikachu would have been fine, but that's not how it ended up. And so this is where things are. And then we have our 8 and 12s. Zero Suit Samus actually beating both Sonic and Pokemon Trainer, dropping Pokemon Trainer the entire way down to that 4th to last spot. Then we got our 6 and 14 Daisy and Wii Fit Trainer and the 4 and 16 Duck Hunt. And so there you have it, our top 8, our bottom 6, and those move in middle: Ike, Richter, Game & Watch, Joker, Ice Climbers, Samus, and Pikachu. Gonna be Red Division next season. So again, be weird without Pikachu in the yellow, but I guess we'll just have to get used to it. And as well as Ike, because yeah, Ike is not going to be here. That's going to be weird. That's going to be very weird. And Red Division is probably like, you can keep him, but you can just keep him there, please. We'll take somebody else. We'll take one of your bottom 6s. Yeah, because who wants Ike? That's somebody I can certainly see resting at the top 8 in another division. If he somehow wasn't able to make it here, that is pretty crazy. Surely he can make it in another one. But then, yes, Richter, certainly not you. We're going to see Simon and Richter in the red next season. That'll be crazy. Game & Watch and Ice Climbers and Samus going from the blue to the yellow and now into the red next season. They're the travelers so far from that are in this division. We have several others, of course. We mentioned them last time. Like Meta Knight and Wario. From the green to the blue to the yellow, we got Link and Luigi that went from the red to the green to the blue next season. They'll be in. And then, of course, in our red division this season, we had Marth, and that was it actually. Just Marth that was in the yellow went to the red and now is going to the green. And so I guess, yeah, they lose Marth, they get Ike at the red division. So that's that. That is where things stand as we go into the playoffs. Awesome. First round, of course, is going to be the red. And spoiler alert for everybody, if you don't want to know, I'm about to let you know all the first rounds of playoffs for the division. So if you don't want to know who's already in, if you want to go back and watch those sets, then don't listen to this. So red is up next first, of course. We're going to have Terry versus Young Link, Pyra taking on Zelda, Hero against Marth, Dr. Mario versus Kirby, and then Simon against Mario. And then their buys are Byleth, Donkey Kong, and King K. Rool. The green division after that, we're going to have Me Gunner taking on Corrin, Chrom versus Little Mac, Piranha Plant against Villager, Wolf taking on Link, and Mega Man versus Bowser Jr. Our buys there are Bowser, Kazuya, and King Dedede. The blue division, we've got Banjo and Kazooie taking on Palutena, Snake versus Inkling, Captain Falcon against Wario, Roy taking on Meta Knight, and Cloud versus Ness. The top 3, the buys there are Ganondorf, Sora, and Steve. And then here in the yellow, these guys, we've got the number 4 Min taking on the number 13 Ice Climbers, the number 5 Olimar against the number 12 Joker, the number 6 Sephiroth against the number 11 Game & Watch, the number 7 Robin taking on the number 10 Richter, and then number 8 Isabelle against number 9 Ike. And of course we got Incineroar, number 1. He'll be taking on the worst of those winners. Swordfighter, number 2, will be taking on the second worst of those winners, second lowest in record. And then Ridley, 3rd, will be taking on the 3rd worst of those winners. And then number 1 and 2, the best 2 coming out of those first 5 matchups, will play each other. That'll leave us again, of course, with 4 in this division, just like every other division, leaving us with 16 fighters to go to the league playoffs, where we will have just 3 more rounds to determine who's the best. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope to see you for all that. Again, we're going to be 6 days, all of next week, going through those playoffs, and we'll be done. So I hope to see you for all that. Like, subscribe, let me know who you think is going to win those first rounds of the division matchups, and maybe even who you think is going to win those second rounds, because we'll be doing those the same day in the division rounds. Round 1 and 2 divisionally will be done in one day. So that's that, guys. I'm Randy with Nerds Templar in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate AI League. Peace out.